Welcome to TJ's podcast.
Hey, I'm TJ. That's my little buddy Riggins.
Morning.
Radio dudes doing a podcast. And I think it's going as well as could be expected. You know?
Yeah.
Radio dudes trying a podcast. But I wanted to ask you something, Riggins, about my little friend Britney Spears.
Oh, Brittany. What are we going to do with Brittany?
Well, let me see if I can
Poor little
I
thing.
can pull this up.
Going through it.
Brit. Okay. So this story hit about Brittany posting, because she's always putting crazy stuff on Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's on any of the other ones, but I get her updates on Instagram.
Sure.
And I've been saying for a long, long time, Britney Spears is dying for the world to see her completely naked. Yeah. She just is hungering. She has a hunger for people to see her naked.
You've said it for years.
And on Instagram, she takes it to the limit of what is allowed on there. But she also doesn't, she's still Britney Spears, and she's not going to just jump out and do, a nude layout for some, online publication. And she's not going to do OnlyFans or anything like that. So she goes as far as she can go as a superstar on Instagram. Well, this morning when I was, getting up and doing my show preparations and all of that, I logged on, punched up the Instagram, and there is Brittany in a video lying face down in the shallow water of the ocean, as naked as she can be. And she's kind of writhing around, and there's a cut where then she changes positions and all that. So you can see her butt from one side of her body, and you can see the crack in her butt. And then she puts the camera in front of her, and then you can, like, she keeps her nipples in the water so you can't see her nipples, and maybe even blurs them a little, I don't know. But just smiling and rolling around and all of that. And then I see that you've sent me the story about that, and it said that it was quickly deleted. Or another story I saw said it was quickly deleted. Mm-hmm. Well, that doesn't make sense because it's still on there right now on her Instagram.
Is it?
Yeah. And then I think she enhanced the sound of the water as well. I don't know if people could see that or not, but...
Yeah, I think so.
Now, when I see this, I just think, the stars are just like us, because I do that. I never go to the beach that I don't get out there naked and start writhing around, humping the sand and all of that.
Showing your full butt crack.
Yeah.
From top to bottom. You are just alike. What are we going to do with her? What are we doing?
I think the only thing that we can do is allow her to be naked, because she's not going to stop until she is.
Yeah.
So somebody's got to say, all right, Brittany, like maybe you'll, Zuckerberg, doesn't he own Instagram?
Sure.
Maybe Zuckerberg will say, all right, you can get one short video where you're completely naked, and then it has to come down. Yeah, and we're going to delete it on our end, and it's going to go up for 1 minute. Uh-huh. And we'll make it where nobody can record it or save it or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I bet she'd jump all over that offer.
Probably. Yeah, because she's posted stuff with like emojis over her nipples, but it's always been very scandalous. And one thing I thought was interesting, she posted a caption to one of these pictures, and that says, I try to do 30 posts a month. I'm like, oh, are you trying to be like an influencer now? Like, instead of, because that sounds like something an influencer say, I try to do this amount of content. So maybe that's just like her thing now. She's like, I get the reaction that I'm looking for, so maybe this is my new avenue.
Yeah, and I think she turns off the comments, right? You can't comment on, which is good. That's good.
Very sporadic. Sometimes she'll take down her whole account for a while, and then it'll be back up a few hours later. And
it's sad. But, she's always been like that about wanting to be seen naked. You remember when that whole group of when she was young, they'd go club hopping and everything, and then they'd getting in and out of the limo with no panties.
Sure.
They have no drawers, and then, that was an accident, and the paparazzi would right.
Yeah.
Put on some drawers if you don't want people seeing your, as my wife says, ninny knack.
Your ninny knack?
I mean, right there, got her full view of her ninny knack right there.
I've never heard that one.
She makes up things.
Ninny knack.
Yeah.
I heard somebody on Instagram, she's like, I'm not going to go into an OBGYN with a guy so he can see my whole pujita or something like that. I was like, pujita? What is that?
Ain't that the number 5 on the lunch menu?
I think so.
Yeah,
I like ninny knack.
Yeah, she's something.
I always hear those parents that are like, when the kids have names for their I go, we never had that. We're not talking about that. That would have been inappropriate. We didn't have like a cutesy name for your private parts.
Well,
We didn't talk about that.
Unless there was something wrong with it. I mean, you had
maybe unless there was something wrong with it, but.
Like you wouldn't walk into the room and go, "Oh, Mom, it's hurting."
Yeah, right. I hope, thank God.
Mom, what's wrong with my schlong? I got to go to the doctor.
Yeah, but Brittany, I mean, did you see in that story that says she was talking about wanting to get butt injections? Mm-hmm. She's not happy with the way her butt is looking.
See, I think that's just an excuse
to show it off.
Yeah.
But you're not even getting the feedback from the comments because the comments are turned off. So it's not like, sometimes people will do that and go, I'm thinking about getting a nose job. And everyone goes, no, girl, your nose is perfect. It's absolutely perfect for your face. And if you did anything that would be a mistake, you look so good. So it's not, you're not even getting that kind of feedback.
But you never know with Brittany, that may be directed just to get at one person. Maybe some guy she's been seeing that nobody knows about or whatever.
Yeah.
She mentioned it to him, and he was like, "No, you don't need butt implants." So she puts that up there, well, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Just to get a reaction out of him. Who knows?
Watch this.
Yeah. What do you think the age limit should be on butt implants?
I was thinking about that because she's probably, over 40 now, I would imagine. I don't know. That's tough to say. I think it's under 40. I think it's probably under 30.
I know women are older. Like there are older women who get breast implants.
Yeah.
But you just don't hear of women, like say a 50-year-old or a 45-year-old going in for butt implants.
No, never. Yeah, I think it's probably, I don't know, probably under 25.
So what would you do if you're the surgeon, though? Britney Spears walks in your office and says, I want butt implants. Would you do it?
I guess, yeah. Why wouldn't you? What's the argument against it?
I don't know. Well, one, you're treating a crazy person, people would say, You're not supposed to do things like that on people that you think may be unstable.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do no harm.
Well,
what they call it.
The people that,
it gets thrown out the window all the time.
Gets thrown out the window. You see some of those people, the huge, the big basketballs taped to their chest. It's like, is that person stable? I don't think so.
Yeah, but they're not Britney Spears in front of the whole world.
Right.
Like if you got a bad reputation off of, Britney Spears plastic surgery, you'd be finished probably. Nobody else would come to you and go, you're the one screwed up Britney.
Yeah. When Michael Jackson died, Dr. Drew came out to defend Conrad Murray, the doctor that was giving him all that propofol. And he goes, you're dealing with a patient that's got serious mental health issues. You should always, as a doctor, have a team around you. You do not want to tackle whatever problems he's going through alone.
Yeah.
You are just asking for trouble. So he said, you always have to have a team with you, team of doctors. So I think it's probably the same thing with Britney Spears. If she comes into a plastic surgeon office, and I think you go, well, let me talk to my colleagues. Let me talk to I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems dangerous.
That's such a shame, though. I know we make
crazy.
jokes about it and all that stuff, but yeah.
It's crazy.
And I don't just say that because it's Britney Spears, and I would think that about anybody.
Yeah.
Like there was a lady that lived out in the country close to where my aunt and uncle live, and she was mentally unstable. Mm-hmm. And she used to, like, she would put on this really thick makeup and her boobs showing, over the top, like just almost out. And she'd ride her bicycle up and down this country road all the time. And she would flirt with the truckers as they drove by. And some people, I don't know this as a fact, but some people say that she would get, like, they pull over and she'd get in the truck with them and do stuff and all of that. And I said that was a shame back then for her. Bless her heart, So it's not just because Brittany's famous. Anybody that's going through something like that, I am so tenderhearted, sensitive to things.
Sure.
I feel sorry for a lot of people. People don't understand that about me. They think I'm hard and cruel.
Yeah.
But I do feel sorry for a lot of people.
Who's like the number one celebrity you feel sorry for outside of Britney Spears?
Like,
poor thing.
I have felt sorry for Kelsey Grammer a lot. I mean, he's gone through so much in his life with family members dying and murder and trauma. I mean, it's just awful. But at the moment, I don't sit and go, bless his heart, Kelsey Grammer. I don't know. I really don't, I guess, think of any of them that are harming themselves now in the way that I see.
Yeah, I think Britney's a standalone case. I mean, she is certainly number one.
Yeah. It's a hard question, Riggins. But, it reminds me, sometimes when people get asked a question, they go, ooh, that's a good question. Mm-hmm. They're just stalling to come up with an answer.
Sure. I think that's
I
fair.
don't like doing that.
Yeah.
Ooh, or you can be like my dad when he's lying. He'll say something, and then when you say, what's that? You know why they do this and this and this, don't you? No, why? Huh? Gives them a second to think up a lie.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going on with the Britney Spears, and I hate to say we'll keep an eye on that. That just means that I'm looking for more nakedness on, hoping for that slip or whatever, which I'm not. That's what it sounds like, though.
That's why it's so tough to talk about that, because it's exciting when she does this kind of wacky behavior. It's interesting content, but you're also like, oh, that's a real person that, like, it's at the base of it, it's pretty sad.
My wife will say stuff like, when I say something about Britney did this or that, and she goes, you are obsessed with Britney Spears. Like I'm some kind of pervert or something. If Britney were ugly and I said the same stuff all the time, it'd be fine.
Yeah, right.
But because Britney is still pretty, and then I happen to, see the things that everybody's talking about that she's doing or whatever, then now I'm a pervert just trying to look at Britney Spears.
Because she happens.
Meanwhile, my wife is the queen of keeping up with dysfunction and drama with people, with all those reality shows and all of that kind of stuff. I'm going to start calling her a pervert.
You're just a pervert.
Yeah. You're only keeping up with the 7 little Johnstons because you're a pervert.
Yeah.
You're obsessed with them, pervert.
Do you really care about Craig's new pillowcases? Give me a break.
Pervert. All right, we got more coming up next.
TJ's Podcast.
Hey, it's Ace, and for a long time, we've told you about Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic, and how phenomenal a job they did helping me with my left wrist. Well, this is Neil. Neil Simler is a member of the Ace and TJ Radio family. Neil, you took the free consultation to have them check out your elbow and talk about what happened just when you went for the free consultation.
They were very straightforward and let me know that they weren't going to treat any of my ailments if they weren't 100% sure that they were going to be able to effectively help my issue. And once were they pushy with trying to get me to spend more money and do, the higher end shots.
Now, 3 months later, how do you feel?
I'm 95% better, if not 100%. It's just been one of the best decisions I've made. Do yourself a favor, get out there as soon as possible.
Set up your free consultation today at acetj.com/neogenics. It's Neogenix. Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic.
They say there are only 2 things certain in life: sweet deals at Sweet Dreams and taxes.
And only one of those is certain this month.
Which one?
The sweet deals at Sweet Dreams.
What about the taxes?
No sales tax the entire month of April at Sweet Dreams.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And don't call me Shirley.
Love where you live, Lake Norman, and pay no sales tax during the month of April.
Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress. Back to TJ's podcast.
Now, I'm not one to, I don't like to be celebrated, so to speak. I don't like that kind of attention, like birthdays and stuff like that, where things are just focused on me for something, except for Father's Day. I love Father's Day, and mainly because I know that I'm going to be getting the Omaha Steaks Father's Day gift pack. Oh, yep. I don't know any man, any dad who would not love the Omaha Steaks delivery right there on the front step. I mean, now there may be some out there who are weird and say I'm a vegetarian or whatever, but I don't know them. I'm saying everybody that I know would love the Omaha Steaks gift pack. But then again, you could be a vegetarian and order stuff from Omaha Steaks. They got all the side dishes and vegetables and all of that stuff. But, they are called Omaha Steaks. And these are top of the line steaks. It's absolutely delicious. Delicious. Everything from the burgers to the hot dogs to the chicken breasts, even desserts. Fantastic. Now, here's the thing. When you order from omahasteaks.com and use the promo code ACETJ at checkout, you're going to get an additional discount when you get the gourmet gift packages for Father's Day. So the experts there at Omaha Steaks put together this package, hand-selected gift packages starting at just $89. Now, I did the math last year. What we had sent to, I believe it was either my mom as a gift or somebody in Jody's family. We did the math on what all we got for the price, and there's no way you could go to the grocery store and get as much stuff as we got with the Omaha steaks for that price. And quality is not even comparable in that. Omaha Steaks, top quality stuff. Delicious. So omahasteaks.com, and then your shopping's easy. It's done right there. Boom. Gets delivered.
It shows up at your door. It's amazing.
Yeah, imagine that feeling of your dad going to the door. Hey, what's out here? He's like, she's done ordered something else. Yeah, exactly. And I wonder how much that is. She's always ordering something. He goes out there and he looks and he goes, oh, it's a big styrofoam freezer tank full of beef, steaks, and hot dogs and stuff for me. So omahasteaks.com, promo code ACETJ to get all the special discounts and stuff. And make sure you use the promo code at the checkout. That's when the discount gets thrown in there for you. omahasteaks.com. Thank you to them for being part of our little organization here. We love them. Loved them way before they were partners of ours.
Yeah, I had always heard of the company, but I never had them until they started working with the show.
Yeah.
And I got my dad, and he like raved about it for months and months. Mm-hmm. So then, I finally got it. It's incredible.
Yeah, I don't think you were ready before then to handle it. You were but a boy.
It was.
You had to become a man before you were ready for the Omaha Steaks gift pack thing.
It's amazing.
But now you're plenty of man, Riggins. Absolutely. Plenty of man.
Yeah. So I need more Omaha Steaks.
Yeah. So that old thing that went around a few weeks ago where they were asking women on the street, if you were deserted on an island, would you rather be with a man or a bear? And they made a big deal out of the fact that the women would say a bear, and then they try to psychoanalyze it. And why are women saying that? Is that because women are so terrified of men and their men are so bad? And they didn't ask me why women were saying a bear. I could have told them in a hurry. It's because if a woman knows that she's being videoed and she's going to end up being seen by a bunch of other women, that she can't say anything positive about a man. They're not going to say anything positive about a man because it's been pounded into their heads for so long that men are just users and, bad and all of that. Even though that they may not really feel that way, they don't want to hear what other women have to say if they say something positive about a man. They don't want to have to deal with all that.
Okay.
All that screeching. That's the main reason. So then they go around now and they've got this twist on it, so to speak, because they found some guy in some foreign land that gave the wrong answer twofold to the bear thing. No, that wasn't the bear. They asked him something else, and then the woman came in with her commentary, and she brought the bear situation in. So here's what it was.
So, what's the youngest age you would date if it was legal?
What's the youngest date you would date if it was legal?
10.
Matter of fact, lock me in a cage with the bear and a grizzly. The bear, a regular bear, a grizzly bear, and a lion at this point. Because what?
Yeah, because the guy said he would date 10-year-olds if it were legal.
Yeah.
And he didn't look like a prevert at all in the video, did he?
10.
Yeah, I mean, the guys, yeah. But when they asked the bear question, they're not talking about some, sicko. They just said it like an average man. Would you rather be on the island with a bear or an average man?
Who presents more danger? The man.
Yeah.
Certainly that man. You would date a 10-year-old?
See, I'd have a hard time not just punching him in the face right then.
As the interviewer?
Yeah. You said 10. But then again, why are you asking that question if you're not expecting to get people to say something, sick?
Sure. I mean, you're trying to make content. You want them to say
Did
something
you say if
crazy.
it's legal? First of all, you go, is legal. If it's legal, well, yeah, you're leading them to say something like 10. Mm-hmm. Or, benefit of the doubt, you're expecting them to say 16.
Something under 18. Certainly probably wasn't expecting 10. Because the fact is that there are a lot of dangerous men, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the take. There are a lot of dangerous men.
Sure.
Does it make up the majority of men? Probably not.
But you could turn it around, too, and ask a man, would you rather be on an island with a bear or a woman? And a lot of men would probably say a bear. Because the bear's not going to gripe at me all the time. Tell me what I'm doing as survival techniques is wrong. They're not going to be complaining. If I can hide from the bear, I'll be okay. You can't hide from a nagging woman.
She'll find you.
They'll sniff you out in a hurry.
She'll climb up that tree with you.
Mm-hmm. But if that happened and men were saying that, women would be, oh my God, dressing them down.
Yeah. Did you ask Joe? You should ask Jody that question.
I guess I could.
Might be interesting to do on your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
See what she says.
She probably want to know, who's the man?
Just a man.
Just a stranger.
Strange. Exactly. Yeah. An unfamiliar man or a bear. And we know she's scared of bears.
Oh.
I would freak out. So there's an added element of fun in that.
Mm-hmm.
Would you, if your daughter was out in the woods, and would you rather her encounter a bear or a strange man?
Hang on just a second.
Oh, bless you.
Excuse me. If she's out in the woods alone,
Yeah.
I would rather her encounter a man.
Really?
Yeah, because the chances of her life being saved is going to come from another person, not from a bear. And it's not automatic that a guy in that same situation finds himself on a deserted island is automatically going to find a woman and just kill her.
No, that's part of the question. But the same thing could be said about a bear. It's not automatically going to try to kill you.
Yeah, because I don't think my daughter would have what it takes to survive being out in the wilderness by herself.
No, I don't think so either.
No. So, nor would I.
No, most people.
Yeah.
But it says a lot about our perception or women's perception of men right now.
But I don't think that's their real perception.
You think
I
it's
think
all
that's
an
a perception that they've been taught that they're supposed to have.
Well, either way, they believe it.
I don't think they do.
The idea might have been pressed into them artificially, But
I don't think they do, though.
you think it's all
I don't think your average woman thinks that suspiciously of every man. You know? That's my point. I don't think they really believe that. Because if they did, why would they ever go around any men at all in day-to-day life? Why would they ever go to the store where they're going to encounter strange men, or walk out into a parking lot where a man could snatch them up and kill them?
Yeah.
You'd have to just remain inside all the time to keep from encountering any strange men.
I also think a big problem with the question is that it's obvious to me that a lot of women don't know a damn thing about bears. And I happen to know a little bit about bears. I happen to take a special interest in bear attacks and things like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's not going to be a fun time.
I think this woman, though, could work for the Discovery Channel, because she said she would be in a cage with a bear or a grizzly.
Yeah. And a lion. A bear, a grizzly bear.
At first he said a bear or a grizzly.
Yeah. And a lion. Yeah, it's crazy.
And I think that my daughter could defend herself against a man's attack better than she could a bear, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, she's had some classes and stuff, so, you know, some
if it's
defense classes and all.
If it's a straight attack, your chances of surviving a human attack far greater than a bear attack. But it's about the presence of danger and how you feel about both of those things. They think a man is going to present you with more danger than a bear would.
You know what I would be scared of? It used to freak me out as a kid whenever I would hear about these sort of things. I don't know why, because it doesn't happen that often. But there was a situation close to where we lived when I was a little kid. And this woman had gone up to this old lady in a store who was struggling, like, you know, looked like she was in distress. And the old lady said, I just need a ride to, you know, whatever place. And so the woman said, okay, well, I mean, I can give you a ride over there. And when she walked the old lady out to the car, the woman's husband was in the car too. And then the old lady decided she didn't need a ride after that. And it turned out it was an old man and an old woman dressed up like an old woman.
What?
Yeah. So to imagine some old guy dressed up like a woman trying to, you know, gain access to an innocent woman has always freaked me out. So that's why I eyeball old women. So, I mean, I'm like all up and down on them. Are you really an old man dressed in old women's clothing, Nana? You know?
That's insane. It must have been, was it convincing that it?
Yeah, oh yeah. It was a little fella. But still,
little guy?
But he could overpower women. And they said they would have been looking for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I guess that was his ruse to hang out in stores and stuff and pretend like he's an old woman in distress.
Oh, super old pervert man is creepy, but super old pervert man dressed as a woman is even creepier.
Yeah.
Ugh. Thank God. I mean, that could have ended really poorly.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was one of those situations where the husband's like, I'm not going in there. I'll wait for you in the car.
Yeah.
And if he hadn't still been out there in the car, if she'd have just gone to the store by herself, it would have been bad business.
Holy crap.
So they end up arresting the guy.
For what? Oh, because he was wanted on the other stuff. Because that doesn't seem like a crime. Like,
Oof.
Is that happened in your home?
Close to where I live, you know, one of the bigger cities, which is not really a big city, but compared to my hometown, it's a bigger city.
That kind of nonsense would not fly at Troy's Superfoods.
Hell no.
Somebody would have stepped in.
Oh man, there would have been parking lot vigilante justice right there. Hell,
big
Troy
house.
Lynn, his damn self, would have probably come out of that booth that he was in up there and whooped the ass. You're gonna try to harass my customers. I worked too hard. My daddy worked too hard establishing this business. I worked too hard to keep it. Troy Superfoods in Shoppers Village.
That's right. You walked into the wrong Troy Superfoods today, buddy.
This is Shoppers Village, not Prevert Village. And you about to find out. I told you that Troy of Troy's Shoppers Village had to, the rumor was he had to change the way he counted money when he was up in that booth. You know, older grocery stores, there were these booths where the customer service was, and Troy would sit in that thing all day and just watch over everything going on. And so back then, you could take your paycheck into the grocery store and get it cashed. So Troy was up there cashing paychecks all the time. And so up in this booth, he would count the money like down where you couldn't see it. And he's counting out the money, and his arm is moving under the counter, and it looked like he was loving himself. So he had to start putting the money up on the counter to
So somebody must have complained about that. Well, like,
or somebody laughed at him or something. I don't know. That was just I don't know that for sure, but that was the rumor.
Yeah. Seeing somebody.
Of course, Troy Lynn's no longer alive, so I could say it as truth if I wanted to. He can't sue me, but I ain't going to do old Troy Lynn like that. Troy Lynn.
Just trying to serve his community.
Yeah.
What you doing up there, buddy?
Oh, yeah, you counting money.
Rolling coins, huh?
All right, we got to take a break. Hang on.
More of TJ's podcast is coming up.
We're here with Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. And Richard, not just mortgages, not just home sales. Now you're helping people with home improvements.
Yeah, that's right. So if you want a backyard that you've always dreamed of, or you need siding, windows, whatever you need, give us a call. Check it out.
You've got the money in your home. Richard just helps you find it, finds the best way for you to do it. It's very simple. All you have to do is start by going to homewithrichard.com. It's homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Welcome back, world, to TJ's podcast.
So we were just talking about things that creep me out, and one of them is when an old man dresses like an old lady in order to do bad things to women who stop to help the old lady. That's creepy to me. And another thing that has always creeped me out is the idea that someone is living in my house at the same time I am, and I don't know it. Like somebody living in your attic or in. I used to say that somebody could easily hide somewhere in my basement of my old house, and then when everybody goes to bed, come out and eat and drink and just live it up down there. And everybody's talking about squatters now, which is ridiculous. The whole concept of giving squatters rights to somebody's property and all of that. Well, this is a squatter's situation that is not. It's not that where families just come in and take over your house when you're not there, and then you can't get them out because you live in an area that's lawless and liberal. This is the creepy situation. This woman had a guy living in her house, and she didn't know about it. This is what she said.
Bought the house in February, moved in March. In September, I went out with my mom and my sister, and I drank too much. I stayed at my mom's house. So I came home 9 o'clock in the morning. I was going to take a nap. So I get home, I get undressed, I get in bed. I'm laying in bed and I hear a noise. And I was like, that must be a mouse. I live in an old farmhouse. So I'm laying there and I hear it again. I'm like, Jesus, that's a big ass mouse. I lean over the side of my bed. I see blue jeans and black socks sticking out from underneath my bed. I jump out of bed. I grab my phone, my keys. I run out my 3 back doors. I get in my car. I'm on the phone with 911 and I'm like, there's someone in my house. There's someone in my house. They're like, okay, ma'am, where are you going? I said, I'm going to the VFW. The VFW is across the street. I pull in the VFW parking lot. I'm sitting in the VFW parking lot, half naked, in my car, on the phone with the cops, and I see the guy that I hired to mow my lawn come walking out the front door. Mind you, I have 3 back doors that I just ran out of. He walks out the front door like he owns the place, puts his shoes on, starts walking down the street. So I'm on the phone. I'm like, I know who it is. I know who it is. They're like, okay, ma'am, calm down. We're sending the police. So one police officer comes to get me. The other police officer goes to find him. As the cop comes in, he's like opening my windows and doors. And he's like, have you noticed anything strange? And whatever, we're walking around, we find a plate with toast on it. So he like made himself toast. So we are.
Okay. Any idea, Riggins, where in the Midwest she's from?
No, but I can find out.
Gave it away. I mean, she's talking really, really fast, so it would be hard for a novice to detect that accent. But as soon as she said, my mom, it gave it away that she's from somewhere in the Midwest. I would bet.
Yeah.
Oh. My mom made himself toast. So what else happened?
So then the other cop calls and he's like, look around the house and see if you see anything else. So my old pain pills were gone. My grandfather's coin collection was gone. Like other things were gone. The kid admitted to the cop to had been living in my house for 4 months. So he was in my bed, sleeping in my bed, assuming that I was gone for the rest of the day. When he heard me come in, he jumped out of my bed and thought he could hide there until I was gone.
Wow. I mean, 4 months he'd been living in her house and she didn't even know it while she's living there. Wasn't even like she went off on a long extended vacation or left that as an unrented property, if she had it for a rental property.
Yeah, you think squatters, you think the owner's not there. That is another level. I mean, and then to be in bed when this happens and then to look down and like something out of a childhood nightmare, there's something under your bed. Mm-hmm. Now there's actually a guy under there. I mean,
and I love the way she just threw in my old pain pills. Like everybody has those. It's like saying my slippers were missing.
Yeah, right.
My old pain pills.
My pain pills.
Now, okay, so she wasn't doing that typical speed through things because she's trying to get it under 90 seconds for Instagram posts or something like when they're doing a cooking video or something like that. She just talks that fast, right? You would think.
No, I think she's probably speeding up to get it quickly.
But I mean, that was over a minute.
It was on TikTok.
Oh, how long do they give you on TikTok?
You can go for a while.
Oh, really?
It's not 90 seconds on there.
Okay. Well, maybe I need to be on the TikTok.
Maybe.
Because I like to go longer than 90 seconds.
Yeah. But, I mean, even then, she was like, I got to do this quickly because I'm not going to hold your attention for 2.5 minutes. But I would have listened to that for as long as it took.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. Crazy.
So, what do we know about her now, just from that? We know that she's a big drinker because she drank too much and had to stay at my mom's. And we know that she likes painkillers. She had painkillers. Oh, I'm kidding, of course. But lucky she doesn't have any kids. Yeah. And, at least that's one kind of bright spot in it. That would freak me out. That'd make me even more pissed off at the guy coming in here with my kids.
Yeah.
And then I'd start thinking, how many times have I left my kids here alone and this guy's in the house with them?
Yeah. Can you ever feel safe in your house again if something like that happens? Or are you like, we got to move? Now I'm getting bad vibes from this place.
No, I don't believe in vibes. And I don't believe in using the term vibes.
Yeah.
I just don't, I don't think it exists. People using the term vibes.
Right.
Would you move?
Yeah.
You would?
I think so. Shows that some part of your house is susceptible to people sneaking in. I don't like it.
Yeah, but you got to think about Biden's interest rates right now, too.
Well,
I
didn't say I'd be able to, but I would want to move.
I mean, she got a farmhouse.
Yeah.
Rich. Got 3 back doors. How the hell you got 3 back doors?
I didn't fully understand that. But.
Well, you think she's counting the door and the screen door as 2?
Maybe. Like a sun
So maybe
porch.
maybe there's a door that leads from her kitchen into the laundry room, then the back door and a screen.
Yeah, maybe. Ugh.
I love that, though.
Isn't that crazy? 4 months.
But I wonder what they did to the guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he seemed perfect. He seemed to be perfectly fine walking out the front door and just putting his shoes on.
Because if we knew where she was, we would be able to determine whether or not anything was going to happen to him by law.
In the story, it doesn't say anything about where she was.
Because he was probably just nonchalant about it because he knew nothing was, no law enforcement was going to hassle him. He's protected,
Yeah.
depending on where it was.
But he knew. I mean, he was like, well, I've already mowed her grass. I don't need to run away. They're going to come find me.
Mm-hmm. God, can you imagine looking under your bed and there's actually, because I mean, as a kid, that's what you're always worried about. Somebody's under my bed.
Exactly.
Some monster or something.
Under the bed. But she did say he was like a young guy, I think. Whoop. We lost a microphone.
Whoa.
Well, thanks for joining us on the podcast. TJ's mic is broke. His mic.
The whole thing fell. But I think this is pretty natural. Let's pretend like that didn't happen. Edit it out, Rob.
I can't even tell on the camera.
No.
So just continue on.
Because it's not like this thing's heavy.
No.
In an awkward position.
It's just stainless steel.
Sure.
Let's get this reset.
Oops. There we go. Hey, happens all the time.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Joe Rogan's mic falls like daily.
All the time. Okay. I don't know anything about, well, I know something about this, but I don't keep up with it that much because I don't have little children. And this wasn't a thing when I had little children. When I had babies, they were, like my daughter was really into things like Playhouse Disney and different things like that, the Disney Channel and a few things on Nickelodeon. And when she was really small, we had some of those old Barney videos that she liked for a little while. And when we would go to Disney World with our charity and stuff, I knew all of the songs when we'd go to the Playhouse Disney live show because I watched all that with her. But this Miss Rachel thing is what all of the little kids are into now. And I don't know much about Miss Rachel, but I assume that she's very liberal because almost all children's programming is very liberal and used as indoctrination tools and things like that. But now Miss Rachel has put out a message for adults, right? So she's not just talking to kids. But okay, we'll just play this and then I'll tell you what I think about it.
I'm proud of you for adulting. It's not easy to be a grown-up. You did the hard thing you had to do. I'm proud of you for adulting. Good job.
All right, now, there's no, I don't guess there's any story about her. She's going to start making shows for adults or anything like that. So you got to figure, okay, that was kind of a little tongue-in-cheek joke kind of thing, right?
I don't know.
But then again, you look at it like something that I always say is that people now refuse to grow up and they keep acting like children all the way into adulthood. It's called adult adolescence. And they still do little children things. So I'm sure that when that hit the internets, adults freaked out. Oh my God, that's so sweet. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that.
You should have seen some of the stitches with that video. Right after that plays, cuts to a girl on her phone.
Crying.
I mean, tears streaming down her face. And she goes, thank you. I really needed this today.
Oh my God.
And it was like, oh, this is not an accident. This is on purpose. To me, it seems on purpose.
Do you remember how people acted like I was the worst curmudgeon in the history of the world whenever that Blue's Clues thing hit, or Steve, and he kind of just I'm seeing how you do or whatever. And all these adults are crying about that and going on and on and on. And I was like, what are you doing? What are these people doing? They're adults. like, oh, you don't understand. It meant a lot. And well, I don't. Well, I do understand. And I think it's terrible. I do understand why people cry and act like, they're little kids or whatever when a children's character does something and that they're all into children's programming and everything. I understand it. And that's why I say that it needs to stop.
I think the main difference to me anyway with the Steve thing is that Steve was talking to you like an adult. He was talking to kids that grew up with him who are now adults saying, hey, I hope everything's going well for you guys. I know it's been a long time, just checking it. Miss Rachel singing to you like a child.
But was Steve wearing his green striped shirt and everything? He was just in his regular clothes?
Yeah, and he wasn't, I genuinely don't believe he was looking for people who would go, oh, my life is a wreck. He was just saying, hey, I know it's been a long time. I've got some free time on my hands during COVID. Just wanted to check in, say hello. It's been 25 years. But the reaction to it was
I forgot
over the top.
That's what they were saying was,
and
I'm
think
not
it's
doing well, Steve.
Partly
Thank
because,
you for asking.
Stuff like this. I think this is pointed and on purpose.
Just like toy manufacturers a long time ago came in with that story. They're marketing to adults these toys, and they're not adult toys, meaning toys for grown-ups to play with. I mean, they're little children's toys.
Yeah.
And they're marketing them to adults because I think it was 30% of their market now.
Yeah, something shocking.
Is their toys are bought by adults.
Yeah.
For adults.
Yeah.
And you can't have a free society that depends on the citizens to survive if that's the direction.
Yeah.
I mean, because how many times have you looked at little children and said, oh, these are our leaders? Never. So just because somebody's in a grown-up body and they act like a child, there's no difference. We got to have leaders.
Yeah, but our leaders are also, right now, the top two leaders are approaching 80 or over 80. So maybe I would give them a little bit of time. I wouldn't want a 25-year-old president.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're 40 and you're crying over some shit that Miss Rachel says, or Steve from Blue's Clues puts out a 5-second, 10-second video and you start sending him messages about how your life sucks and you're crying, I mean, you're not going to stand up to Putin or no damn body else.
No. Putin does not play. Yeah, I think this seems sinister to me. It seems sinister, like on purpose.
Well,
and I don't think I think the Steve thing was sort of just like a happens.
But this is part of the original plan to tear down American traditions and all.
It's all part of the plan.
It is. It's a Marxist playbook. Keep people where they're, if someone has the childlike mentality through their entire adulthood, then chances are at some point or another they're going to have to sit back and let the government take over their lives.
Right.
Miss Rachel's bad business, I think.
I like it.
In my opinion.
I didn't like that, Miss Rachel. We got our eyes on you.
I'm telling you. You could take, I would say, in my opinion, you could take 99 out of 100 children's programming, children's entertainers that are educational, supposed to be educational for children from toddlers through high school. And they're borderline Marxists.
Oh, sure. It's called, it's the arts, liberal arts. I mean, it's in the name. So any art, any form of art, typically.
But there's a difference in just being artistic and out there and not in the real world in your mind or whatever, as opposed to a definite plan to change the minds or mold or whatever you want to call it of little children to believe in all this crazy crap that's being pushed in our country now. I mean, it just
keeps you up at night.
And then how do they do it? Miss Rachel may just be a useful idiot in the grand scheme of things, but they put a little innocent-looking, loving lady in overalls and the sweet voice. You'll mess us all up, man. Mess us all up.
Yeah.
That's why my kids weren't allowed to watch much PBS programming at all when they were little. Too much indoctrination.
Yeah.
I was kind of skeptical of that Barney.
I was new.
But I had to preview all of them that my daughter would watch, make sure. Mm-hmm. And what's she doing now? She's thriving, man. Big city, thriving, hobnobbing with country music stars. At a party the other night with Jason Momoa. I think he mows the grass at her apartment complex. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at this. We got to go.
Yeah.
You tired?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching and listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.
Serving the world. It's TJ's podcast.